Coin drop. Screen flash. The high score. Boss laugh. Thumb sore. Same fight. Lost track of the time all night. Snacks gone. Eyes red. Still shouting one more. Distracted gamers, press start. Button mashing from the heart. Round one, game on. We get hit, go harder. Distracted gamers, press start.
Holy cow, everything's different. I don't know how to feel anymore.
I'm scared, Red. I'm scared.
This makes me afraid.
Actually, no, I'm not, because look at me. I have a gun.
Ross does have a gun. He is shooting. He does. See, that's the joke. Ross loves guns. And he's shooting at, I guess, as I said, civilians off in the distance.
Just random citizens, apparently. Don't look too far into it.
We were on a 2-week hiatus, and you might be wondering, small amount of listeners, viewers of this podcast, what was going on? Officially, I was completely revamping because we're kind of in a season 2-ish. I guess that's the story. Ross had some family stuff. I had some health drama stuff, but we have returned completely revamped in a whole new podcast. We have now fallen into Distracted Gamer City. I really haven't made up too much narrative for what we're doing.
We should name this city.
Dwell on it for a minute. And we are... I just like that I'm randomly punching.
You're getting ready.
Whatever, you're just getting pumped. Don't worry about it.
Dr. Jason's doing karate.
Yelling over there?
It looks like you're kind of going, man. Thank you. Cap Cruz is weighing in, telling me how good the intro is. That intro is months in the making. And you might go, it looks like it's mostly AI. Yeah, well, getting AI to do what I want it to do is really difficult.
Yes, it is.
It's willful and stupid.
The current image you were looking at right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 separate projects combined together. Just getting character design and then having the character design into a fighting stance and then having that fighting stance displayed in a loop and then have it. Nobody cares about how difficult all of this was, but I do. Also, I'm gonna point out the obvious. Silver's green, but in the light of DG City, it makes her blue for some reason.
Like a gecko.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jason's doing karate and I'm just punching randomly.
Justice.
I am justice. I am Rhett. I am so excited for the return of the DG podcast. I'm excited. Cap Cruz has rejoined us. Hopefully she enjoys herself. And hopefully the shorter intro is more enjoyable to watch and keep people interested. And they won't get bored halfway through with our TikTok minds. What, Ross?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
Do you know how bad our attention spans are? Disney Plus Disney Plus has added cell phone shaped short videos.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Great. That's fun to look at in the living room, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you have the app, then you could flip through clips from Disney content.
Oh, God.
What, you can watch the entirety of some Disney show through shorts? You just gotta flip through them, and it's
Just one clip at a time.
Great.
And I
like all the Breaking Bad clips on YouTube.
get the entire show a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
And I enjoy myself with you. But we have returned at the turning of the tide, one of the biggest bits of news that people have been speculating about for a very long time. How many constant rumors have we heard, hey, Kathleen Kennedy is leaving, or she's been fired? And a lot of the reason why those has been sparked is not just because people hate Kathleen Kennedy, it's because the performance of the sequel trilogy and Star Wars after Lucas have been bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
We've been hearing it for a while that she's going
Why?
away. They even like talked about who was going to take over after she was done. So
well, and the rumor's been around so long that, I mean, it's got to the point where people don't believe it anymore. It was like the release of
Yeah.
Duke Nukem 3D. I'll believe it when I see it, and then it finally came out.
yeah.
And with all of the Kathleen Kennedy rumors, especially when they came out about a month or so ago, when we reported on it, and they seemed fairly credible, and it looks like they were. It's just we were building up to her leaving, and she is finally out. And look, she was never going to leave until she wanted to. Let's just say that right now.
I mean, she was in a position to basically dictate when she would leave.
Oh.
I guess Disney could have come down hard and ousted her if they really, really wanted to, but I don't really think it was worth it to them to do that until she decided she wanted to leave.
Undeniably so. And it's hard to replace someone like her when she was hand chosen by George.
Mm,
What are you doing,
Yeah.
George?
yeah. Well, Kathy, she knows where all the bodies are buried, and I'll
Yeah,
be
pretty
honest,
much.
I'm terrified of her.
He was threatened.
I'm selling this company under duress.
I'm ready for the Kathleen Kennedy era of DGP to begin. Rhett will be played by an oddly cheerful lesbian. Are lesbians ever
Right.
cheerful?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to answer so quickly.
Well, it's
no.
rhetorical, but thank you for intervening, Ross, for the slow of us, like Chance. The lesbian version of me can be lesbian, but cannot be cheery. In all
I was
universes,
gonna say
I'm grumpy.
something, but I was gonna say so not that big of a change, I guess.
No. I am also into women, and she will also be into women. But she'll also be abrasive, and I'll also be abrasive.
Yeah.
Your Rhett Prey love story doesn't change much.
The soon-to-be funded Rhett Pray Love documentary.
I'm very excited about that.
Well, if we were more positive, this might be a thing.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, difficult.
It is. Look, we've all been. I don't know how to describe this accurately enough. Kathleen Kennedy has resided over some of the most hated Star Wars films of all time.
Yeah.
We all thought we hated the prequels until we got to the sequels.
Yeah, that's no kidding.
Yeah.
Because it went from bad, corny, stupid movies when the original
Worst.
trilogy to us was so serious. And then it moved to sequel trilogy movies that were political and bad.
Yep.
Yeah, and just like make stupid choices. It's funny. I mean, we'll get into it, but stuff I've seen online. Well, they tried different things, and it's like, did they? I don't know about that. I don't know. All the stuff, all the cope I've seen about with this situation, her is just, well, it's just that it's cope. And I have a theory about this whole thing, but I'll touch on that more near the end, I think.
He's going to keep that bullet in his pocket. Chance
Keep
says
it real close.
Chance says the new Jason will be a transsexual Aboriginal amputee. I can see that.
That's nice. Good for him.
Good for him. At least I'm still into women.
At least I'm the one finally wearing the pants in this group. Like that!
At long last.
But on her exit interview, she spoke to Deadline and had a bunch of things to say. Why don't we, in my fancy new border, discuss this? Let's see. Lucasfilm has percolated a lot of future Star Wars films and generate many hours, blah, blah, blah. The problem, look, I don't exactly recall where these spots are, but the problem is there are a few important things that she said in this interview. One in particular is that she has no regrets. Which is shocking because that's also claiming no fault for anything that's happened. Any of the failures and any of the bonuses.
Yeah. Well, I know she mentioned at one point in this, like, well, we tried things different, and not all the fans were big into it, like stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but The Force Awakens is just A New Hope again and worse.
Yeah. And,
well,
different people died.
To read the lows are that you've gotten very, very small percentage of fans of the fan base that has enormous expectations, and basically they want to continue to see pretty much the same thing. I don't think anyone said that.
No.
And if you're not going to do that, then going in that you're going to disappoint them. I'm not sure there's anything you can do about that because you can't please everybody. So just don't try. All you can try...
Screw them.
Yeah, all you can try and do is tell good stories.
They're going to be upset no matter what we do, so we're going to do whatever the heck we want because they're going to be upset anyway. That is such a load of crap. We would have been happy if they told good stories in the Star Trek, in the Star Wars universe. That's what we wanted. We wanted something that honored the legacy that was established by George Lucas in New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. That's what we wanted. It didn't have to be nostalgia bait. It didn't have to follow the exact narrative that was, just a rehashing of those plots. I mean, people loved Rogue One.
I did. Of the only sequel trilogy that I liked, yeah.
Yeah, it was probably the most well received.
Andor was popular. Let's at least read a little bit more. All you could try and do is tell good stories to try and stick to the essence of what George created. The essence of what George created. He embedded credible values into Star Wars and what it has to say. The whole idea of hope and fun and entertainment is what he's done over all these years. That's what I tried to preserve and wouldn't do that any differently, and I wouldn't change anything that we've done over the years. I understand why some people may like certain things more than others, but that's not going to change why I decided to do certain things and why I decided to work with the people that we worked with. I think that everybody came into Star Wars space. They love Star Wars. That was the first and foremost important. You want to have people coming to Star Wars and wanting to tell stories and wanting to make movies and wanting to create television shows that you respect and care about. Jon Favreau is completely different than Tony Gilroy, and they're both incredibly talented storytellers, blah, blah, blah. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Just
so what's
this week,
your excuse?
Just to read some chance comments really quickly. Just this week, I've seen fan-made Star Wars content that was more compelling than Kathleen Kennedy's schlock. Kennedy's inability to read a room is the next level. Her lack of awareness, truly god tier. Rogue One was aces. Here's the problem. People acted like Kathleen Kennedy single-handedly ruined everything, and if George Lucas was just here, everything would be fine. Kathleen Kennedy was handpicked by George Lucas.
Yeah.
Now, she carried on an era during a very political, one might call woke time period in media, with the intention to create, to make things, how do I put this? Insert more feminine female characters to change the narrative. And the movies got worse. Now, that's a subjective standard from my perspective, but there are a lot of reasons why to believe that's subjective as well. They performed gradually poorly. The first Star Wars movie in history to lose money at the box office was Han Solo.
Yeah.
They've had failures of TV shows. Obi-Wan was an abysmally terrible show. The Acolyte was an abysmally terrible show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm supposed to sit here and go, wow, Kathleen Kennedy's great. What did she actually do or create that was any good? And people might go and quote, well, she's a producer in some of the biggest and most popular and great franchises of all time. She's listed as a producer on things like Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Indiana Jones. Huge accolades. And then she gets in charge, and we get The Force Awakens. We get The Last Jedi. The Force Awakens is one of my most hated movies of all time. It's really bad. And people might go, oh, well, it made a lot of money. It's like, that doesn't mean it's good. It just means that it was riding on the coattails, so people wanted good Star Wars.
Yeah.
And a lot of people lied to themselves that the story was good too.
We were all going to it because it was the first Star Wars movie that had come out in a while. So yeah, we were all going to see it. It wasn't until we got there and we're like, oh man, this is bad. That if we'd had that warning beforehand, it probably would have been losing money too. But I do have a question about her being a producer. So, as a producer, what is her actual job?
See, me and Ross were having this.
She's not the director. She's not the writer.
No.
She's not the actors.
Well,
Rhett and I were talking about this earlier, and the reality is, as I understand it, and I'm not anybody in the Hollywood world, but I've done my fair share of looking into this industry, and producers, what they do specifically depends entirely from one project to the next, from one studio to the next, from one producer to the next. They can be everything from the sole creative driving force behind something happening, all the way down to they were given this title on this film as a make good, either by one of the other producers or the studio or whatever. Like, it ranges a huge gamut of responsibility. I think typically producers are there to make sure the director and the above the or below the line people have what they need to make the movie happen. Traditionally. But again, that can be anywhere from like I said, it runs the gamut of seriousness. So
right. So they're there to make sure that something gets produced, but they're not necessarily a creative force. They could be, but they're not necessarily a creative force. It could be that the director, the writers, those are the ones that are the entire creative team for the movie, and the producer's just there to say, here's the check to go pay for X thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a lot of ambiguity as to what producers do, and they can do a lot of different things. So it's kind of a catch-all term.
Yeah.
Okay. So for Kathleen Kennedy to be a producer on these blockbusters, it could be that her role was as a glorified gopher, basically, and she
Maybe.
had no the movie had the movie's success had nothing to do with her in particular. It would have succeeded regardless of who was the producer, as long as the producer got the stuff
Well,
that that the director needed.
here's the problem, Jason. I don't know what she did.
Yeah.
Glorified gopher, maybe. Would the movie probably been done well without her? Probably. But there are some films where producers hold the film together through spit and twine.
Yeah.
Right, I
But
understand.
it's all organizing, it's all getting everybody together, it's all coordinating the funding, it's all these other things. We don't know what Kathleen Kennedy did, but she did work
And it
with some
could
of the
be-
greatest directors of all time, who probably know how to make movies and can handle the production end, whether or not she's involved. And because of the big name films she's involved with, if she never went on to do anything else but those productions, she might go down as one of the best female
Greatest
producers of all time. But we don't.
Yeah.
But because we don't know what she actually did, just that she was involved in some of the greatest movies of all time. That's the best we can say. There was. I mean, I've heard stories of producers who were on set every day, involved with everything, making sure stuff was getting done. Might not be the creative, but they're involved. The problem is Kathleen Kennedy moved from producer, whatever that means, to being in charge of the
Lucasfilm.
franchise and signing off on movies and picking things in a
Right.
more creative process. It is her vision that directed the future of Star Wars from where she was at. It was her vision. It was what she signed off on. It was who she helped participate in. I mean, I guarantee you she was in the room, in the conversation when it came to things like casting or whether we not a female lead or that sort of thing. She was definitely in people's ears. She is a huge, important part of Lucasfilm. So if you want to blame any, because she can't be blamed or given accreditation for any one film, but she can be blamed for the course of tragedy across Lucasfilm, not just
Right.
the trilogy of sequels, not just the TV shows, but the Indiana Jones film as well.
The reason I wanted to kind of delve into that was I wanted to get some perspective on Kathleen Kennedy's role in those movies, because it's like you said, her name has been attached to these huge blockbuster movies. So we have that legacy of hers as she moves into the role as head of Lucasfilm. And then from her time as head of Lucasfilm, what we get is that we get basically a failed franchise. Two failed franchises.
Well, define failed franchise.
I would
Because
say
if you
Star
say
Wars,
financially failed, I think all three movies did $1 billion. At least of the
I would
trilogy.
say failed franchise in the sense of the basically the fans are so turned off at this point that they're facing a huge uphill climb to try to regain the fan support and numbers that they once could have counted on almost reflexively. You know what I mean? Like
I
new
suppose.
Star Wars comes out.
But before we get
Huge
into that,
fan
really quickly, Chance
support.
says George Lucas gave us Phantom Menace, at least lest we forget. Lest we forget, Chance, whether or not you like Phantom Menace, at least the lightsaber battle was good. You can't say that about the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, there's been a rethinking of the prequels over the last few years. Would you not agree, Red?
Yes. Perhaps
I'm one of
nostalgia
those
based, but
people-
perhaps comparison wise.
Yeah, and okay, like I still think the prequels overall fucking suck. There's some nostalgia to them. There's some, at least this is George-ness to it. However, the one thing I can say about the prequels is that they have a lot longer lasting effect on like pop culture, or at least that Star Wars itself, than I think the sequels ever will. I mean, there are so. I mean, Rhett and I were just talking about it. I mean, Rhett, how many video games were made for just the Phantom Menace?
Oh, so many.
So many that people still talk about. That still like you and I played through 100% of the achievements on the Pod Racer re.
Jedi Power
you know,
Battles.
Power Battles and
Phantom as the action game was like a top-down 3D.
Mm-hmm. The weird Gungan city sim. I mean,
the Lego.
Yeah.
Games.
Well, those weren't strictly released during Phantom Menace, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No.
But then, if we include all of the prequels, I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, just video games, let alone whether or not you like it. The Clone Wars animation, like animated show, I like the Tartakovsky one. That one's great. Like it had an impact that people still talk about to this day. I fail to see how the sequels are going to have that, because anything that's actually sequel related, I mean, has there been? I mean, I know there's a Lego Star Wars that includes sequel stuff specifically.
Yeah.
Everything else I can think of is more like Rogue One-ish era, or like immediately after Andor. Excuse me. Stupid Star Wars. Nothing's directly sequel related. There's no fucking Rey video game. So I don't know. That's one thing you can at least say about the prequels, is they had an effect. I don't think these sequels.
Can I at least ask a question then?
Absolutely.
Could we end up having 10 years from now? Well, plus, everybody kept saying 10 years from now, people will think that the Force Awakens was great, but we've actually hit our 10-year mark. But let's say longer from now, like with the prequels, you'll have people who grew up with the sequel trilogy and will have massive nostalgia. Will actually be like, actually, they were good. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, it's not outside the realm of possibilities. I'm shocked at how much there is for the prequels.
I'm with Roth on the prequels. I didn't really like them as much.
However, I think it's more going to be a look back at what could have been more than what was, if that makes sense.
Sure. Chance has one more comment that I haven't gotten to. Honestly, I want the last 3 films thrown into an alternate universe and future Star Wars flicks to pretend they've never happened. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's unlikely to happen.
Seems, not that strong of a possibility, unfortunately.
Keep going.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be, because I mean, even the Force Awakens, or at least especially in totality with the entire sequels. I mean, oh man, Finn could have been really cool. Oh well, there's like a lot of that kind of stuff.
Ross's mic is really quiet. I'm going to see if I can adjust it. Keep going.
Oh, okay.
Yep, got it.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be more looking at it from a what could have been rather than what is.
I guess that's possible. I don't know that we're. I mean, it's always possible that 20 years down the line, the people could be looking back at the sequel trilogy and thinking, it wasn't really all that bad. I would think that that's hope. But I could be wrong. I haven't really been paying attention to what people have been saying about the prequel trilogy, because I don't really care. And anybody who says, yeah, oh man, the prequel trilogy, it's better than you thought it was, I would look at them and say, no, it wasn't. You know what I mean? So what do you see as things that maybe in the future people could look back at the sequel trilogy and say, this wasn't as bad as we thought it was?
People who grow up with it. There's a lot of if you watch it as a child, even bad movies, people have nostalgia for.
I guess that's true, but is that more that they're nostalgic for it as opposed to it's not as bad as we thought it was?
Hey, I will firmly say that Suburban Commando is a great film and will not fall back on that. But also, I may have watched it when I was a child and may really like Hulk Hogan. I don't know what to tell you. It's actually narratively Shakespeare, but there is a quality where people watch something that's bad when they're children, but
That's
they
true.
think it's good and there's fun to it. The problem with the prequel trilogy, as much as adults as we want things to be taken seriously and earnest because Star Wars is a serious universe, and those are the people who carried on the torch. The prequels were kind of made for kids. George Lucas said they were made for kids. Period. And if children loved those movies at the time, children loved those movies. They thought Jar Jar Binks was hilarious.
Richard Binks.
It
Terrible.
cannot be understated that children will view the movies differently. Now, does that mean you can't have a movie that's good across the board? Pixar for years managed to make movies that children and adults made. And just because it's for children doesn't mean it has to be stupid. But there will be people who look back on the sequel trilogy and be like, yeah, those were actually good. I watched them as a kid and I used to watch them all the time. I'd watch them 10 times a day, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, okay. But if we're trying to have a concerted discussion about whether or not these movies were good under Kathleen Kennedy's watch, can you be objective and say that they're bad? Are there ways to say objectively the stories are bad? Now, I think you can. Based upon bad story structure, look at Last Jedi and Return of Skywalker, right? J.J. Abrams practically removes stuff that Rian Johnson sets up in the second one, almost like he hates him.
Yeah.
Rian Johnson destroys Snoke in the second one when J.J. Abrams set it up to be the big bad guy. It's almost like they disagree with each other as films.
Yeah, they do. Now that you say that.
The third one just drops storylines. Like in the second one, it goes, well, Rey didn't have any parents. They were nobody. And then in the third one, he's like, they are nobody. They're just the grandchildren to Palpatine. Well, that's not nobody. He almost actively undermined everything Rian Johnson did in the third movie. I think objectively you can say they're bad films. They weren't planned properly. They were thrown together at the last minute. They cost way too much. Narratively, they're a mess. The narrative in the third movie is that the Star Destroyers don't have a navigation capability of knowing which direction is up. This is a thing in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's so dumb.
We went from it takes a giant station the size of a moon in order to generate enough energy to destroy a planet to The Force Awakens. He can drain a star and shoot 7 planets at the same time. Not to mention the fact that light speed alone would take years to travel to planets far enough away.
Right.
It happens almost instantaneously. Nobody talks about the fact that a planet-sized gun where they can move the planet would throw off the gravitational pull of everything around it. That alone would destroy solar systems. No one has mentioned the fact that because it's near no star, the surface should be frozen solid with because there's no heat. All of these problems caused by just a bad storytelling. And you might just go, well, it's Star Wars. It doesn't have to make sense. You can try.
Yeah.
You can try. I mean, and then to undermine, look, the point of the original trilogy is Anakin Skywalker gets redeemed at the end.
Yeah.
And they basically, by destroying the Emperor, and they basically destroyed his narrative. And and the new character shows up, and she's the greatest Jedi ever, and she's the chosen one, and she defeats the Emperor, and even appropriates the Skywalker name at the end of the film. I think you could objectively say these are bad movies. Before we get too far with your responses, I mean, Suburban Commando is more entertaining than the Lord of the Rings film. So, Chance,
Hot take.
You're cruising for
out with soap, dude.
You're cruising for a single nut because I will kick you. Chance has had a long-running problem.
Grape.
Well, see, here's the problem. Chance has damage to his prefrontal cortex and has the problem paying attention to anything beyond a TikTok video. So he gets really antsy like a child at church, constantly squirming in his chair, and can't watch anything longer than 5 flipping seconds. So yeah, he has problem paying attention or listening to anything that's actually any good. I know it's a problem with your mental disorder, Chance. I apologize. Hopefully you don't pass it on to your children, and they're also retarded. Let's move on. Responses to what I said before?
Yeah, I think they are pretty blatantly not good, and it's going to be hard for anyone that wants to come back and be like, no, they're actually. That's why it will be. There were aspects of this that could have been good, but they dropped the ball.
It's the lost potential, man. It's the
much so.
So, in just discussing this, one of the things that came to mind is it's a Jim Henson movie. It's The Dark Crystal. I loved that movie as a kid. I still like it as an adult. However, I do recognize that one, it's not a great movie.
It's boring.
It's kind of slow and boring in places, and there's some things that are like, too obvious that it's a puppet in certain places. And I don't mean the main characters, because they're obviously puppets, but there's these creatures that it's basically guys on stilts, and it's like, you could have done that better, guys. So
you're telling me
while there
Kermit's
is
not real?
nostalgia, what was that?
Tell me Kermit's not real?
No, sorry. While there is nostalgia there, I can honestly say that it's not a great movie. So I don't necessarily see that people are going to go into the future in this and say that we should revisit these because they're better than we thought. I do think that people have the capacity to look at something and say, that's the nostalgia talking, and they have the capacity to say, yeah, I realize that as a kid I like this thing, but that doesn't mean it's any good.
I don't think...
and I can still find enjoyment with it.
Well, just because you've self-reflected on the movie being bad from different eyes, I don't think a lot of people are capable of self-reflecting whether or not their opinions are good or bad. I would say, and this might sound horrible of me, I would say 99.9% of people do not have enough self-reflection to realize their opinions aren't very good.
Wow, sucks to be them.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably not wrong.
No. And guess what? I probably have opinions that are probably pretty poor. Jason definitely does. But that's not to say the sequel trilogy in and of itself are great films. They are hugely, massively flawed films. And I think accepting mediocrity is not something we should be doing. And we should not ignore the fact that it's not just one movie. It's the trilogy. It's The Acolyte. It's Obi-Wan. It's Han Solo. It's the terrible Indiana Jones film. All of this oversawn by Kathleen Kennedy. Apparently, when Kathleen Kennedy read the script for The Acolyte, she cried. Because it was so moving. And the story of the twins that lost each other and one became evil or whatever.
Wow.
Rather than crying because it was so terrible, she cried because she enjoyed it too much.
And she greenlit this because she thought it was amazing, and the show was so bad it was canceled before season 1 was done airing.
Yeah.
Lest we forget.
points out that Kathleen Kennedy may be an amazing administrator.
Maybe.
Amazing administrator. Terrible on the creative side. And that should have been like separated from her duties, maybe.
Well, what were the final numbers for Rise of Skywalker? Absurd amounts of cost. There's no way that movie made money, even though it made over $1 billion.
Yeah, didn't they figure it was like almost a $600 million
Yes.
budget? Yeah, and they advertised
million.
the bejesus out of that.
Yes. It's very possible that movie lost money.
Yeah.
Does that mean she's a good administrator?
Well, that's the thing. She okayed the movie, and if she hadn't okayed the movie, if she'd just been the one administrating, and somebody else was the one that was administering the creative side of things, it may have been a different story. But it says Rise of Skywalker's budget was $593.7 million in gross spending, and after that was the net cost was $489.9 million because they got a $103.8 million tax rebate from the UK.
Well, the reason why we have accurate numbers is because the UK, the films filmed there are required to cite their budget.
Mm.
Yeah. Basically, it made 1.077 billion at the box office, but it only took in 48.6 million. That was its profit after it paid off everything
that we know of.
Yeah.
And you don't, even if that's true, you don't spend that kind of money to make $48 million.
Yeah,
right.
You want hundreds and hundreds of millions.
That is such a poor return on investment.
Well, and let's at least talk about the fact her intentional politicizing of Star Wars. You might go, what do you mean politicizing? The Forces female T-shirts. We need to expose men to more female characters. Freaking
the director that was like, my job is to make men feel uncomfortable.
Right. I think she was originally slated on the Rey movie and didn't ended up sticking around. The Acolyte is a feminist movie all up and down. It just is.
Yep.
Now, here's the problem with that. And we've had this discussion a bajillion times before, so let me be succinct. Star Wars is a male brand. And I know you're going to get suddenly upset and be like, what are you talking about? Girls like Star Wars too. Yes, they do. But they like Star Wars for the reason why boys like Star Wars. Star Wars is a male brand. And when you take a male brand and make it more female, you lose male audience. And once again, I understand girls like Star Wars too. Okay. Girls have all of Disney, and the reason why they bought Star Wars is to bring in men, and then they feminized it. Is that a good plan? That's why they bought Marvel. And then they feminized it with more female characters because women complained, why aren't there more women characters? And then women didn't go see these films because they're not really into Star Wars as much as men are into Star Wars. And they're not into Marvel as much as men are into Marvel. You make an Indiana Jones movie where Indiana Jones is depressed and you bring in a new female character that's going to replace him in the future. And you go, no, she's not gonna. They deliberately said depending on how well it was received, that they had plans for maybe her doing movies in the future. They wanted her to be new Indiana Jones. And what happened? People hated the movie. You dump on the original characters, you replace them with new female characters that nobody likes. You treat the male characters badly, and men don't show up. I don't know why this is confusing to anybody. Why is this so difficult for people to get it into their pea-sized brains? Yeah, but the movies made money. Here, let me remind you. The movies, one of the biggest parts of Star Wars, one of the hugest, most important parts of Star Wars, is that Star Wars does massive, massive product sales. Placements, toys, bath mats, whatever they are. Merchandising. That Star Wars it's merchandising all up and down.
Mm-hmm.
the sequel trilogy performed so poorly that Hasbro's stock tanked.
It hurt another company that bad.
Because they put a huge bet on the new Star Wars toys.
Wisely, one would have assumed wisely, by the way. I mean, the prequels, those toys printed money.
Because people didn't buy
Oh, yeah, they
merchandising after the fact. The prequels sold merchandising like crazy. You cannot tell me those movies didn't make money. Chances, my problem with Palpatine having a granddaughter is that it requires him to have kids, and I just can't see him getting laid. You're going to tell me that's not a handsome man? What's wrong with you? He's charming as hell. He could submit,
and he's a politician. That power is an aphrodisiac. Come on.
Sheev was a charming, handsome man, senator, powerful. Come on now.
Silver, how hot is Palpatine from 10 to 11 out of 10?
-12.
So super
You are talking
hot.
to a female kaiju, remember?
So hot, the number comes back around.
Uh-huh.
How did you feel? Did it give you strange feelings when he did his twirl thing
And screamed.
and went, "Wah!"
Ah!
Oh my gosh. So beautiful.
He does his little twirl and attacks people with his lightsaber? Do you get excited when you see the lightning fingers?
Oh yeah, especially when he goes, do it.
Do it.
He has so much power. You don't think women aren't throwing themselves at him? Chance. You don't think women aren't throwing themselves at that decrepit corpse?
That very handsome gentleman.
That man who looks like a grub.
He definitely doesn't look raisiny at all.
The attack on my life has left me scarred.
The Jedi.
Do it.
Do it.
Oh my gosh, you've derailed me. Do you remember in Indiana Jones where the point in the movie was to go back in time and save Hitler?
I sure do. Yeah. It's really good. Honestly, it ties into the Wolfenstein, frankly. Maybe
That's what caused it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. Good job, Indy.
Let's read a little bit more. That's what I think I do well, and that's what I do like to do and want to continue to do, and hopefully that took Star Wars into the next step. We'll see in the long run, but it feels like it did. It feels like we expanded the universe. We brought new audiences in, and I think that's the most difficult thing to do with franchises in general. But especially with something like Star Wars, where George created something that became part of everybody's childhood. Every single filmmaker that walks in and wants to work on Star Wars, the first thing they say to me, the first thing I hear is, let me tell you about when I went to see Star Wars for the first time with my dad.
I guess they brought in new audiences, but the
And
idea
chased
here
out
is
old
that
ones?
you don't want. Well,
Yeah.
you either need to keep the old audience and bring in some new blood, or you need to bring in so many new people that they can flat out replace anybody that's leaving. And all they did was like replace one or two people while there was a vast emigration, an exit, if you will, from the Star Wars fandom, a general exodus. And they didn't bring in enough people to replace the ones that they were alienating.
Oh, goodness. Hey, I've got an article for you guys. You'll think it's just a
Oh.
blast.
Wonderful.
All right. How The Force Awakens changed Star Wars and pop culture itself 10 years ago.
Oh.
Today, the Star Wars franchise remains as bountiful in content as ever, though its cultural significance has decayed into a shell of what it formerly was. There are countless factors and opinions on where Lucasfilm went wrong. Yet on the 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens, that is, Maz Kanata said, a good story for another time. Instead of repeating a decade's worth of well-trodden discourse, let's reminisce on an era of pop culture gone by, from politics to the state of the film industry, blah, blah, blah. Star Wars used to be a more popular IP. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem so far.
Uh-huh.
Rey is the audience surrogate for the idealized Star Wars fan.
Oh my god, what? Stupid?
What?
A person who longs for the kind of belonging and sense of adventure that wash over her when she hears these tales of old. More powerful and capable than she knows, Rey's self-doubt and imposter syndrome constantly stop her from realizing her full potential throughout the movie. That doesn't stop any full potential. If that is her being held back, she is an ascended god.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, like, people joke about, what was his name? Star Killer in the Force Unleashed games.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
He ain't got shit on her then.
Seriously, that dude had years to train under a Sith master, and they're telling us that Rey was
Held
full
back.
of unrealized potential
And self-doubt. Her refusal of the hero's journey in Maz Kanata's castle calls to mind. Where is her place in the story? This aspect of her character has resonated particularly with young girls, a demographic that was once gate-kept from Star Wars. No one cared if young girls liked Star Wars.
No.
Nope.
And is now encouraged to play the leading role for the first time. It's an arc of empowerment.
Oh.
Well, we all know where this person's coming from.
There is a theory that's been going around for years that Daisy Ridley's Rey represents the fans. That the reason, so that's why she sleeps in a down AT-AT. That's why she knows about the Force and Han Solo, because she's a fangirl. She represents the audience who's obsessed with Star Wars.
Oh.
Which is weird because she goes, Han Solo the smuggler? He was like, don't you mean Han Solo the guy who helped destroy 2 Death Stars?
The rebel general?
No, she knows him as the
war
smuggler.
hero? Yeah.
And it's only been like 15 years since the last trilogy. What? No, more than 15 years. Wasn't it like 30? I don't remember. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's not a huge amount of time. And then she's like, oh, the Force. And it's like, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Like, not to forget something like that.
She's almost painfully powerful. She doesn't try. It just happens. Self-doubt be damned. She can do anything she wants to. There's no threat to her. She beats trained Sith. Oh, well, he was injured. And it's like, but anger is supposed to fuel them. And he gets beaten by an untrained janitor.
Yeah.
In the first sequel trilogy.
What? No, come on.
It's this weird rewriting of the sequel trilogy to make it out to be so much better than it was, so much more than it was. Just remember, little girls liked it, Ross. That might be like 5 people, but little girls loved it and they saw themselves in her. And it might have damaged the sequel trilogy forever. Disney might have lost money in a lot of these films and not have earned enough money at this point to even have paid back the money they gave to George Lucas. But it was worth it because we got an overpowered girl character that everybody could see themselves through. It was worth it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Super worth it. Thank God.
Do you remember back when the prequel trilogy or the sequel trilogy was coming out? I think The Force Awakens had just been released. There was that dude, I forget what his name was. He released a video on YouTube calling Rey a Mary Sue.
Max
Remember
Landis.
the backlash from all those mothers
Max Landis.
to that video?
Oh, Max Landis. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was amazing. He came out and he's like, she's a Mary Sue. And he never said you can't like her. He never said anything about that. He just said there are problems with her character. She's a Mary Sue. And they're like, how dare you try to tell my daughter she can't like this character? And he's like, what? That is not what he said.
I would like to hear Silver's opinion on this. Not that you aren't tainted by the amount of peer pressure of us expressing dislike for Rey, but you were younger as these movies came out. Did you have an attachment to Rey? Did you see her as overpowered initially? Did you change your opinion over time? What did you think of the female-led sequel trilogy?
I forget when these came out and how old I was, but I'll be honest, I've never liked Star Wars.
See? There you go.
Come on. A majority of women don't care.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, I do remember even like before being corrupted by you three when I saw this movie. That scene where she's coming out of like the cave thing and she can immediately use the Force. I do remember being like, wait a minute. Didn't the other guy train forever?
Remember
He did a bunch of flips in the woods before he could do it.
Remember in the first movie, and he could barely carry one rock.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, remember in the first movie where she could use a mind control on a stormtrooper?
Oh, that's right.
Which took Luke
Oh.
And that's the
training
Jedi
until
Master thing.
Jedi Knight to be able to do in the third film
Yep.
and Return of the
Gosh,
Jedi.
she's just so good at it.
Also, fun fact, the stormtrooper that she mind controlled was Daniel Craig.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Old
that's
James
right.
Bond.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's in that movie.
God, it's probably not him underneath that helmet, but if it is, that potato face.
No, it
was
is.
So
No, it is.
controlled.
Yeah.
Ew. What a nerd. Really? Ugh,
Nerd.
dork. I mean, what a dork.
Let's bully Daniel Craig.
We
There-
should, always.
There's a lot of cope when it comes to these movies. Trying to rewrite the narrative, trying to make them out to be really good. In the interview, Kathleen Kennedy came out and said the reason why we didn't get a sequel trilogy from Rian Johnson is that he was spooked by toxic Star Wars fans, led because of The Last Jedi backlash, resulting in his response on Twitter. He was not afraid of toxic Star Wars fans.
Oh. But that's inconvenient for Kathy. What a jerk.
Could it be that the movie made so little money that they thought, maybe we aren't going to offer it to him because it's a liability rather than a money-making endeavor on our part?
Well, and
To quote Rian Johnson, LOL, zero spooked, sorry.
and that's another aspect of her tenure. I don't know if we're gonna. I guess I could look, but that is so baffling. I mean, even if everything had been like there was no like yeah buts or caveats or whatever to everything going to sequels and all that. Let's say they were all super successful. The amount of projects that they picked up and put down and then canceled quietly, or just you never heard about it again, or directors who were told they were getting their own movie and like this was announced and then it was just told like we were told, years later, like, yeah, that's not happening. That is not the sign of a healthy franchise or a well-run ship,
She's talked about a lot of people trying to make these movies. I've heard tell a lot of people have turned down Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid of, doing it poorly, getting a bad reputation, maybe working with Disney or whatever. Lest we forget, the Rey trilogy that they've been planning on making has had 3 or 4 directors drop. at this point.
Just can't do it.
I mean, and it's the same problem that Marvel's having now. Nobody will take their projects.
They're difficult, poisonous things that they will meddle with constantly because just in case you're not on the up and up, when they do the Marvel movies, they do them so quickly that they almost haven't planned out the plots very well. And a lot of it is done as they go. And then there are a lot of reshoots, which is part of the problem with the Marvel films. And sometimes it produces magic of people pulling it off at the last minute. And sometimes it doesn't work. Actually, quite a few times it doesn't work.
You mean not planning a movie and just trying to fly by the seat of your pants? Turns out some poor quality movies? Wow.
Wow.
Hey, the sequel trilogy did so well that Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland is now expanding it to include a lot of characters like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker and Han Solo and Princess Leia. Because nobody wants to go and see Rey and Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
It's like, the actual popular characters, not the ones you've been pushing on us for quite some time.
Well, and on top of that, Disney, it's probably a combination of a lot of things, but Disney screwed up so bad that they closed the Star Wars Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, that was a $1 billion failure.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, and just a complete disaster almost from the get-go.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, Hasbro. What was the percentage? 21% drop because of Star Wars in one quarter.
Yikes.
And that was
that's insane. When a movie tanks so hard, it takes another company down with it.
Well, some people blame that the sequel trilogy was part of the reason why. That Toys R Us went down because the sales. Yeah.
No, not Jeffrey.
No.
Jeffrey, no. Well, and now we could sit here and go, oh, well, Kathleen Kennedy's terrible and her legacy will be terrible. I could tell you unequivocally that her tenure will go down as very hated. Not just because of the damage to Star Wars and the brand. One of the most valuable brands in existence is now almost useless, and they can't make money from the films. But Indiana Jones, which people were clamoring for a new one, they made a depressed, morose Indiana Jones that doesn't have a family, where his son dies in Vietnam.
No. Well, and that I guess this is a good time to. So the thing we always heard was that Kathleen Kennedy was going to leave when she on a high note, right?
Right.
And one of the things that's been notable since, I mean, in COVID, blah blah blah, but like the Rise of Skywalker happens, and then we haven't had a movie since. I mean, we're now starting 2026. They haven't. I think there's supposed to be a movie in 27 now. The Starfighter movie.
Yeah, it's been like 6 years since a Star Wars movie.
Almost 7.
There you go.
7 this December. So, and that's not a good sign. Because look, a lot of movies have been made post-COVID. You can only use that COVID excuse for maybe that first year and a half that anyone will buy it. So we always hear, and then not a good sign, but we hear that she wants to leave on a high note. Well, now the show, Mandalorian was a high note, but there was stuff in the works. Oh, okay, and then Mandalorian now sucks. Okay. Well, and I'm sure
Jack Black and Lizzo showing up in the 3rd season.
Oh, yeah. And then I'm sure the Acolyte would. Oh man, if that had been the high note, ooh. Turns out
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the worst thing they've ever made. Oh, damn it. Okay.
The Acolyte's good. To be fair, it is one of the top 2 most highly rated Star Wars things on IMDb.
IMDb is a well-known and reliable source of ratings, especially from the...
The Acolyte was good. Or the Acolyte.
Yeah, the Acolyte was good.
Were you going with Andor? I was getting there.
Andor was good.
Yeah, Acolyte was horrible.
Acolyte was terrible.
Now we do have a movie coming out this year, Rhett, and that's Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh.
And now
Silver
she's
loves
leaving.
Grogu.
But at least, so then, like, but just now this last year we had Andor come out, and it was really well received, if not, ubiquitously watched. So my theory is, my conspiracy is, she's leaving on the high note of Andor and taking some credit for that, if you will, and getting out
Most
before
likely.
the absolute shit show that is The Mandalorian. That's my conspiracy. I mean, I have no proof of this, obviously, but the timing seems weird to leave after an almost 7-year gap of movies, films in the Star Wars world is finally being ended. You're going to leave now, just before it comes out? That seems strange.
Well, it's entirely possible that
I don't
the reason that this is going to be the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is because they realize that Mandalorian and Grogu are the popular ones from that franchise, and they've decided to go back to it rather than what they did at the end of what season was it? The 3rd
3.
season? Yeah, basically where it was no longer the Mandalorian. It was whatever that female lady,
Oh, yeah.
whatever she was. Bo-Katan, that's what it was.
Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
It's it's the Bo-Katan show now, and that was so poorly received that they finally said, you know what, we need to go back to the Mandalorian and Grogu. So it could be that this is a step in the right direction, that they're going back to it. It kind of
No.
is a signal to me that they're. I mean, it's a red flag.
It's more
right
than
off
a
the bat,
red
but it is a signal
flag.
to me that they're going back to what was popular about the Mandalorian.
No. Look, Baby Yoda was hugely popular with the kids and with the girls. Until it got to the point where they couldn't stop throwing Baby Yoda at our face. Season 3 was badly received, and it was all Mandalorian Baby Yoda nonsense. It was Baby Yoda was joining the Mandalorians. He was doing flips as a puppet.
Where they very clearly threw him from off screen.
I think actually I saw
thought
the
that-
behind the scenes. They were using a stick to twirl him,
Oh, dear God.
and then they would eliminate it
Ah.
digitally. It's
I was
not.
sure hoping they were just hitting him with like a golf club.
This
That's
isn't
right.
returning to what was good. This is desperation. They don't know what to do, and the best thing they can produce in Star Wars is a freaking Baby Yoda puppet and a guy who barely talks. This is what they have. This is desperate. Hands down. This is Marvel Doomsday level of desperate, where they don't know what to do, so they're just throwing crap at the wall. They're like, spend any amount of money it takes, bring back Robert Downey Jr.
That's such a bad move right there.
Desperation.
And let's at least look towards the future. What do you think the future of this holds? Because a lot of people were sitting there going, well, Dave Filoni's coming, and Dave Filoni knows a lot about Star Wars, and he's based, and he's all these other things. I will tell you right now, Dave Filoni is just as bad as Kathleen Kennedy ever was.
Yeah.
He has given speeches about inclusivity and making Star Wars more female. He's given speeches about how getting rid of men with privilege in Star Wars. Like, he is one of the worst to possibly inherit this. He is continuing on the legacy. as much as you might think Kathleen Kennedy's terrible, she was chosen by George Lucas, as was Dave Filoni, who was chosen by George Lucas. Dave Filoni is so obsessed with these female characters that we have Ahsoka. George Lucas wanted to kill her because there are supposed to be no Jedi left, and Dave Filoni wouldn't let her die. He sent her to an alternate universe to be saved from being killed in the Purge or whatever. And you go, well, there's not supposed to be any Jedi left. Well, I'm not a Jedi because I left that organization. Oh my gosh. Ahsoka's terrible. She's a terrible character. And Dave Filoni is a champion of it. And you go, yeah, but he's been involved with stuff that's good. And Dave Filoni was involved with The Acolyte.
By that same logic, Kathleen Kennedy was involved with stuff that was good. And look what we got. So
he was directly involved with The Acolyte, not just kind of involved with The Acolyte.
So I put an article on the document. It's called "Disney and Lucasfilm Wave White Flag on Star Wars," and it basically talks about the fact that we're going to have. And this, to me, is kind of one of those things that it almost makes sense that they should have done with Kathleen Kennedy. They have they're going to have two co-presidents of Lucasfilm. It'll be Dave Filoni and Lin Brennan. But she's been like the business head for a long time, so she's the person who holds the purse strings. Then you're going to have Dave Filoni, who's going to be mostly probably in charge of the creative side of stuff.
Well, yes, that's kind of what I was trying to get to, but yes.
The way that the article was presented is that the author saw this as not a win for us, like you've been pointing out, but actually this is Disney basically waving the white flag here and saying we just don't care about it anymore. Because if they did actually care about it, they might put somebody in charge that could turn it around. Whereas, as you pointed out, Dave Filoni's track record does not show that he will turn it around. He'll push it more in the direction that it has been going, which, as we've seen, is a destructive direction and not a constructive direction.
Well, it's not even that. He's terrible. He's bad at everything he does. It's not even just his track record. Listen to the pathetic loser speak. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't write good stories, and he has an agenda. He has the same agenda Kathleen Kennedy did. So if you have a problem with what Kathleen Kennedy did, Dave Filoni is just continuation, if not worse. He is not going to take it into a better direction. Star Wars will not improve under this guy. He has broken his back to try and save Ahsoka so that she can stick around for things because he loves her character. He has spoken relentlessly about including more women in Star Wars. I don't care if there's more women, but that tells me you don't understand that boys need heroes too. And you're like, well, he's literally said, we've had, enough male-centered stories. Okay, well then we're going to have no one caring about Star Wars for generations. Right. He's not going to make good movies. He's going to make bad movies. And here's the weird part. Kathleen Kennedy's not stepping back from being producer. Just to being in charge of Lucasfilm.
Doesn't surprise me.
She is going to stick around in some capacity.
You think she'll be like producing?
Well, she said she is always going to be a filmmaker because she's always been a filmmaker. So watch her still involved with Star Wars today. Just not in charge of Lucasfilm. And it's like, well, this is all Kathleen Kennedy's fault. It's not Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, for all intents and purposes, has been in charge of creative for a while now.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see if the films that Kathleen Kennedy is involved in afterwards, if they kind of hark back to her original track record when she was a producer as opposed to head of LucasArts, that would kind of validate my opinion that she should never been put in charge of creative, that she's more of an administrative wizard than anything.
Well, we won't be able to verify that if the movies still suck and she's just producer on
True.
crappy films. Star Wars isn't getting better, and people cheering her downfall don't realize it's just going to keep going the way it has been.
Yeah.
And look,
Yeah,
if you're a fan
haven't-
of the direction, then fine. But it's been losing viewers, losing audiences, and losing money. And so if this is direction you want Star Wars to go, watch it not continue in the near future. Watch as we get huge year time spans between films because no one's interested in it anymore. Yeah, but I like the sequel trilogy. Okay, guess what? It's damaged the brand so badly that you're not going to get more films if they can't actually pull something successful. And you know how you get more films? You track the audiences that are naturally interested in action, adventure, Star Wars type movies. Perhaps The Boys. Perhaps you don't make movies that talk down to them. Perhaps you don't make movies where the girls are all awesome, the boys are losers and comedic, pathetic creatures, or that you make the heroes from the previous movies depressed or pathetic, or you don't kill them off and you treat them respectfully. How come every time we get a male character from previous films, look at it this way: Luke Skywalker, depressed loser who doesn't like anything, and the stupid milk scene, dies from being sad. We get Indiana Jones, depressed loser who's unhappy with everything and wants to die at the end of the movie, unless we forget both movies new female characters to replace them.
Yep.
This should tell you the respect they have for the original content and their intention to replace these characters with new female characters. This has always been political. And don't roll your eyes when I say this. The intention has always been a deliberate effort to be an activist in this. They sit down and they see everything as gender warfare. That's how Kathleen Kennedy views the world. That's how Dave Filoni views the world. That's how they've always viewed the world. And their intention was always to go in and create more female characters, because in their minds, the only reason why men and women are different is because they're told they're different. The only reason why women aren't into action movies is because they're told not to be in action movies. And if we change that, we put more female characters into action roles and women have more heroes, then maybe women will be more go-getters and be girl bosses and be more, and this will change the culture. But the problem is you can't change our biology. And boys naturally like adventure. They like action. And women like drama and romance. And just because your stupid political mind doesn't like that that's the case, doesn't mean that that's not the case. Everything isn't socially created because of the social, economic, cultural circumstances that everybody's been in. There are preternatural tendencies that people have to like in certain things. Explain to me why Silver, for some baffling reason, likes pink. Disgusting.
Disgusting.
That's
It's
because
just
she's a girl.
and she's been conditioned to.
That's is simply not true. And that political narrative that's been ingrained in people for years, there's no scientific evidence to support that. And the reason why I'm making a big deal about this is because this attitude, this political mindset, this activism has infected everything. Everything in media, everything in video games, everything in culture. The intention deliberately is to change the culture, to take a hold of the valuable things that people love, the big brands, the IPs, and transform them into female brands, to demasculinize things, to go after classically masculine characters, to demonize them and replace them with women characters. And if that were true, that you could just do that and everything would be great, then men wouldn't have fled in mass. And these movies wouldn't be hemorrhaging money, and things would be going well at Lucasfilm. And there wouldn't be celebration in the streets as Kathleen Kennedy leaves with her head in her hands. Because these movies were bad. Because that way of managing things is terrible. When was the last time somebody sat down and went, hey, guess what? Boys like action movies. Let's just make a movie that they will like. As opposed to try and rethink it in some sort of strange political ideological way to try and re-engineer society and culture to fit the way you think it should be. It's horseshit. It's always been horseshit. And this is the result of the past 10, 15, 20 years. A failing Lucasfilm with bad movies, bad TV shows, and no interest whatsoever. Everybody hates it. And it's infected Marvel, and it's infected Doctor Who, and it's infected Indiana Jones, and it's affected Star Wars, and it's affected every major brand where there's a male character. Show me the brand where females are dominated in it, that they've masculinized it, or put men in charge instead of women. There isn't one, because they don't give a shit about that. They only want to go after male brands because the intention is to change it. It's always been the intention, deliberately and intentionally so. It's horseshit, and Kathleen Kennedy is one of the peak perpetrators of this. Tell me the intention wasn't to change Star Wars into something more feminine when she's walking out with a damn t-shirt that says the Force is female. You're going to explain that has nothing to do with them deliberately trying to change everything? Oh, because it did. And they were trying to do it. And then we get the Marvels. One of the most expensive and biggest failures in Marvel history. The Marvel universe has been collapsing for the past 4 or 5 films now.
Oh, yeah.
They're so desperate that they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. Star Wars is exactly the result of this intentional infestation and taking a stick and screwing with brands that we love. And that's why we're upset about it. I don't care if you make movies with strong female characters. I care when you ruin already established IP that I love. That's when it pisses me off. And Kathleen Kennedy is just a massive part of it.
You know, the thing with Rey is that initially none of us had any problems with Rey conceptually. You know what I mean?
No,
it wasn't
like,
like, oh,
yeah.
they're having a female character in my Star Wars movie. How dare they? You know, there was none of that. The problem that we had was that, you know, Luke Skywalker went from being a farm boy that could barely hold a lightsaber to Jedi Master over the course of 3 films. And what we got was Rey basically going toe to toe with the equivalent of Darth Vader from the get-go.
Jason, just to nerd correct you, he never got to Master. He got to Jedi Knight.
Actually,
I maybe have
Master after the
I may
fact.
be pulling things in. No, he did get there eventually in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. No, he was Master way before the sequel trilogy. But he essentially became a Jedi Knight. Sort of, it was concluded at the end of him facing the Emperor.
That's true.
Is he became a Jedi Knight. I'm just nerding you right now. I've derailed your point, but you know what
I mean. No, I mean, so he went from being farm boy, know nothing, to someone who could stand toe to toe with Vader, but it took him 3 movies, and there was training that went on during that time. Rey did that in the first film with no training.
Yeah, but Palpatine's daughter.
Problem with.
So she absorbs it, and it got transferred.
And that's where we have our issue, is that she was, for some reason, she was powerful and could do all the Force stuff, without actually having to go through the process of learning it,
Do
like
it.
anyone else would have had to do.
Yeah, I mean, she's a bad character, and we've established this
Yeah.
over the. We don't need to belabor too much. The point being, Kathleen Kennedy presided over bad era in Star Wars, and good.
And now we're getting Kathleen Kennedy Part 2 in the guise of David Filoni, and we're supposed to be happy about that.
Yeah, we're supposed to pretend it's going to be good because it's a guy, and it's like, no, he's also bad. He's really bad.
He's a moron.
Yeah, objectively horrific moron. So I have no hope for the future Star Wars. It's a good sign the Wicked Witch is dead, but she's being replaced by a horrific golem creature with a cowboy hat.
Yeah, a dork with a cowboy hat.
Great.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Ready for more in-depth discussion about blah 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 new
New
stuff.
stuff online. This is the Distracted Gamers, connecting you now.
Short intro. Everything's changed. Everything has changed.
It's season 2, baby.
Season 2, losers. All right. It's been a long discussion, and there's a lot more to get through. There's a few topics that might warrant some deeper conversation, but a lot of it needs to just be chased on through. Hey, everybody! Starfleet Academy came out.
Oh no.
But it's really well received. In every
Oh
way.
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, low viewership. Oh.
Okay. Where do I begin?
They dropped the first episode of Starfleet Academy for free on YouTube.
Well, yeah, there might be even farther back from this. So Ross and Jason, for those who don't know, Silver doesn't care about Star Trek because she's a plebeian.
Nope.
Wow.
So to explain the plot of Academy, all right, in Star Trek Discovery during the whatever era we're in, the really bad movie era, I forget what his name,
That's the official
Kurtzman?
title.
Kirksman, yeah.
Yeah, Kurtzman.
So in Discovery, season 3, near the end, this new type of alien was born whose DNA was attached to dilithium crystals, which powers starships. Okay. And his mother
Oh, boy.
died, and he cried so hard that it destroyed all dilithium crystals in the universe.
Oh my gosh. What a
And
keep going.
And Starfleet Academy takes place, oh my gosh, 1,000 years after the original trilogy, after the original series, the OG series.
Yes.
Okay.
And now they have, I guess, a new form of transportation. So they're starting up Starfleet again. So this is a reboot of Starfleet. The new Starfleet, the new members of Starfleet. Now, if you're a fan of Star Trek, I don't know how discerning you are when it comes to the lore. It should be pointed out that not everybody loses dilithium crystals to travel through space. And
yes.
In fact, the Romulans
Okay.
don't use dilithium to travel through space. But for some reason, they don't know that, and everybody has been hamstrung when it comes to space travel. So this is, in a way, a Kurtzman reset so that he can start from the beginning and do everything fresh. The intention
Ugh.
with Starfleet Academy is they want it to reflect the attitude of today, where there's a lot of anxiety about current times and people think everything's going poorly, and that this is a chance to start again and create the utopia, the Starfleet that they always intended. Despite the fact that creating the culture in mankind the utopia where everybody was working together and doing things the right way on Earth shouldn't have anything to do with whether or not they can travel through space. But apparently it did, and Earth has been just really shitty since the lack of ability to interstellar travel.
So because we couldn't go at warp speed, apparently we evolved into a
Shittier culture.
away from a utopian society.
Yes. That affected our
Awesome.
ability to. So this is the fresh start. And you might go, oh, well, there's some weird problems if you've paid attention to Star Trek. Like, the ability to go to warp speed initially had nothing to do with dilithium crystals. It allows you to go to more advanced warp speed. Because the first person to, go to warp speed from Earth, Mr. Cochrane, didn't have dilithium crystals.
Okay.
But, facts and this type of information are not really
What's
important to
lore
Kirkman.
anyway?
What's lore anyway? This Jem'Hadar girl is actually not purely Jem'Hadar. She is a mix between a Jem'Hadar and a Klingon.
Okay.
And you might go, but I thought Jem'Hadar were genetically created to be super soldiers and lack the capacity to have children. Ever. Well, that doesn't matter. We wanted a Jem'Hadar female. And also she is a drill instructor in the military, because of course one of the only Jem'Hadar female is a drill instructor and super masculine and super military. In the show, what's her name? She's a lesbian comedian. Oh, this girl. I forget what her name is. Anyway, she curls up in a ball in the captain's chair and often takes off her shoes with her bare feet sitting in the captain's chair. So a lot of respect given from this character. Characters at Starfleet are forced to go through DEI training where they talk about diversity in other cultures.
Yep.
Oh, God.
And it's not for everybody. It's just mostly the men.
The dialogue and conversations are very, very modern day. They're not high class, sort of above that. Kim Cattrall, I think her name is. Anyway, Kim Cattrall here.
That's
Captain
Sarah
Lady.
Jessica Parker.
This is not Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, I don't know. I can't tell.
Anyway, this lady references mixtapes, even though that's outside of her remote time period of there being mixtapes in any capacity. There's an alien that refers to an origami chicken, which is a weird thing to say, especially when he's an alien. He doesn't know what origami is or chickens. There's a lot of modern language, modern references. It's supposed to be very relatable to younger audiences. Everybody is 20 something in this show. That just every brilliant new person is a 20 something. We have a Klingon who actually loves bird watching. He's a very feminine Klingon, and they've specifically referred to his character as being very feminine.
Which, by the way, I guess feminine by human standards, not Klingon, because he would also be terrifying to humans as female Klingon. Anyway, whatever.
Well, and he has a little skirt in this image, if you can't tell.
Yeah.
Because it's the Earth trappings of being a girl, despite the fact that Klingon women are actually more masculine than a lot of human men.
I was going to say, he should have a very low-cut, like, revealing pec shirt on.
Well,
if he wanted to be female Klingon.
Well, and female Klingons notoriously bite when they're lovemaking.
Mm-hmm.
But, whatever. I don't know anything about Star Wars. Star Trek. The point being, the plot is all over the place and really bad when it comes to the lore. Now, as Jason alluded to, they released the first episode 24 hours before the series premiered on Paramount. Now, you might ask yourself, why is that the case? Now, for multiple sources, and not just one, it's been alluded that apparently Paramount's numbers for Star Trek viewing on Paramount's app is in the tens of thousands.
Oh my God!
Ouch.
And so
Wow.
it's speculated that they might have been concerned about the viewership for Academy, especially considering the money they're spending. And this has been Kirkman's dream. He's always wanted to make this. He described making the show as Harry Potter in space. This is what he described the show as. And they released it on streaming on YouTube, the first episode. And the first episode viewership was so bad. You're talking 1,200 for the first while.
Oh.
The last thing I saw was it had gotten up to like 77,000, something like that.
But that's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People release YouTube videos that get over 100. And they're just talking about things.
Yeah.
So the viewership is very poor. Now, as someone
And
who likes Star Trek and hasn't touched any new Star Trek, especially Kirkman involvement, I'm not surprised. This doesn't encourage me to access new Star Trek or watch Academy. But their intention was to attract younger audiences with the hip language and everybody being young and hip, because no one wants to watch shows about older guys discussing ethics and values and having technical speak and looking towards the future in science. It wants to be weird and utopian and witty Guardians of the Galaxy, I guess, dialogue. And this is what we get. Starfleet Academy. The state of Star Trek as we speak, everybody.
It's great. I mean, it really, I think it's going to be a strong. Oh,
It's
and
a hit.
on top of the viewing numbers, it was ratioed. The likes to dislikes, again, last time I saw it was like three times as many dislikes to likes.
One thing, at least personally, I've noticed. So on Instagram, every now and then an ad for Starfleet Academy shows up. And much to my shock, much to my surprise, comments were allowed on the Instagram ads when they post for Star Trek Academy. And in more than one occasion, I'd be the first one to comment. And I would put, this show is going to suck. That's it. The show is going to suck. Which would flood with huge amounts of people behind it going, yeah, this looks terrible. Because I don't think people realized, oh, you can comment on this thing? Because as soon as you see the first comment, you're like, oh, people are saying stuff. How far Star Trek has fallen.
Yep.
it's crazy. Everyone thought it was horrible when Enterprise came out. Ah, you had no clue, you fool.
Oh, I pine for the days of Enterprise.
Oh God, yeah.
Only.
Enterprise, a beautiful show. With, I don't know, it got all bogged down with the word Time Wars and stuff. It's really silly.
Yeah, it has its problems, but good Lord.
I like Archer. I don't know why people are down on him. I like Captain Archer.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with him.
Well, who's your favorite captain? I mean, mine's Picard, but
Mine's
With you there.
between. Oh, I think it's Cisco for me. I like Cisco a lot. It's either that or Kirk.
He's good.
Ross is a Star Trek deconstructionist.
I love me some Deep Space Nine. What can I say? But I do like the original series a lot, especially when you add in all the maybe except for 5. He's great. He's really good.
Silver, have you ever seen a Star Trek?
Yes. I have seen a Star Trek.
What? Don't make it sound like I'm talking down you. I'm talking to you at the level that you can understand.
Which I understand none because I can't name the Star Trek I saw.
All right.
It's just Star Trek.
Hell
I
yeah.
can tell you, one of them was the Chris Pine.
Oh, okay,
Which is
yeah.
what-
Like the Kelvin universe Star Trek stuff.
There's that. The
The
a
Abrams.
little bit of the early ones with Burr, not much, and Data. I know Data.
Okay.
There you go. That's all my knowledge.
Sweet. Look forward to Silver's
Nailed it.
analysis of Star Treks.
Mm-hmm.
Star Trekkies across the universe.
It's actually what I started thinking about when you said that. I was like, wait, there's that song, Star Trek, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to not drag this out to huge degrees. Me and Ross are doing something weird. Oh, by the way, look forward to content. We are going to start flooding you with lots of content. Despite the break, we have been hard at work. Me and Ross have a big discussion. We sat down where we discussed all of the Sean Connery James Bond movies. Well,
Yeah.
his era anyway, including the
Yes.
Lazenby, the weird one in between.
Mhm.
So look forward to that release in the coming week. Also, we have recorded one at a time the first 4 episodes so far, and we're going to keep doing it, of the Fallout series, because me and Ross have a lot to say about Fallout.
Mm,
And
we've
the
been in
second
those
season of
mines.
Fallout is balls.
What? Yeah. No, it's genuinely. And the cope is just delicious, by the way. Oh.
And also look forward to new Bond content. Well, Jason will be joining us for the next era of what's his name?
Oh,
Roger Moore.
yeah, Roger Moore.
Despite that, we have some interesting news about the ratings for Fallout Season 2, Ross.
Oh.
The newest Nielsen ratings have arrived, showing a gigantic drop-off for Season 2 of Fallout.
Oh.
According to Hollywood Reporter, Fallout viewership reached 794 million minutes on Prime Video for a week of December 15th to 21st, which covers when Season 2 debuted on December 16th. Season 1 racked up 2.9 billion minutes of streaming time during its own opening week. That's a 72% decrease.
Wow.
Jesus H. That's horrific.
Yep.
That's.
And me and you kept talking about it. It's like, man, Season 1, it was just this weird surprise blow up, like surprise hit.
Mhm.
And we were kind of confused at that. And then Season 2 came out, and we're both sitting here going, no one's talking about Season 2.
At all. No.
Except for
And-
us, apparently.
to each other.
Yeah. So 72% decrease in minutes watch from Season 1 to Season 2. Not looking good.
No.
No, that's not
Seems the
looking good at all.
virality has dropped off precipitously.
We have a new reveal of the new Amazon series, Lara Croft. There has been a bunch of dramatic response to her, Sophie Turner, from Game of Thrones as Lara Croft. The biggest negativity is people like, this doesn't look like Lara Croft. She's not a redhead. Honestly, the most inappropriate comments are, she's not busty enough to be Lara Croft. Honestly, which Ross will, also mirror. I think she looks good as Lara Croft.
I do too. I think she looks fantastic. Probably the most accurate one, other than the boobs, I guess, that we've gotten. And I don't hate the other ones per se. I'm just saying, to me, she looks most like the video game that I've seen so far.
I'm more concerned. Look, she looks great. She looks fit like Lara Croft is supposed to be. I I'm more concerned with the writer Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who ruined
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Oh.
So,
I mean, maybe because she's actually working with a woman, that
She won't
won't
write it
happen.
stupid.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
Maybe.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hold out any hope. Her track record is terrible, but she doesn't have to ruin a man in this.
She made that one popular show that was really liked by artsy people, and then it, and then everything after that has been balls. She's not good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's failing upwards, baby.
Yep. Moving on. Nintendo faces Switch 2 uncertainty. 33% share price drop in 5 months.
Oh.
It may seem odd that Nintendo Switch 2 has been the fastest selling console in history, but now the company is facing rapid stock drop due to uncertainty about the console. One of the biggest reasons that this seems to give is that it lacks a killer app for the console.
Yeah.
And the fear of increasing prices for the Switch 2. I haven't bought one because there just hasn't been a game that screams, I have to get a Switch 2 right now. That's why I even made the offer to get one. Also money.
Right.
But
Well,
apparently that uncertainty is carried over to the stock, and there's some concerns as to the performance of the Switch 2 and where it's going from here. Especially with all the negativity about the DRM and the fake cartridges that don't actually have games on them.
yeah, I was going to say their launch was fraught with a lot of bad press.
Switching forward, the developer, the studio behind Star Wars Outlaws, Massive Entertainment, and Ubisoft Stockholm are facing layoffs.
Oh, really? Just now? Did they have them earlier? I don't remember.
They call it a restructuring. They're losing 55 people. I could have sworn a week or so ago I saw an article where Ubisoft was shutting down a studio that tried to unionize.
Yeah, in France.
So good signs for the future of Ubisoft. Goodness. Where?
Oh yeah, that was Ubisoft Halifax, I think.
Okay.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to look that up real quick.
So how do I start with this? Stranger Things season 5 came out. And there was a lot of negative reception and then a lot of cope where people saying actually it is good. And then there's been a weird event called Conformity Gate. Now, if you haven't been aware, and if you listen to these sorts of podcasts, you're probably already very aware of what Conformity Gate is. So I'm going to surmise really quickly. The theory crossed across the internet that the ending of Stranger Things season 5 wasn't the actual ending. That it was bad on purpose because we were being brainwashed by the main villain, and that they secretly filmed an entire season or even just a different final episode. And they've been scouring the season for clues and signs that this is all in our heads, and us as well as the characters in the show are brainwashed. And there's a secret episode coming.
Wow, the cope is hard with these people.
Well, according to their evidence and all of their sleuthing, they believed it was supposed to be out, I think it was the 7th of this month, and that didn't happen. There's new rumors and beliefs that they think they have new evidence suggests that there's new stuff coming because of indications with tarot cards in the season. They seem look, it's a really good sign that Stranger Things season 5 was really popular when there's a huge audience trying to cope by pretending that a secret episode is coming that isn't coming.
Because they were so unhappy with how it ended.
Because that's how well things went.
Yeah, went really well. Good for them. Or, I mean, really, not bad in any way.
And if that doesn't help you with how well season 5 has done and how well everything was managed, I have an interesting article for you that the Duffer Brothers apparently started filming season 5 without actually having finished the script for the finale. They didn't actually know where the story was going.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Classic sign of things going to go badly, by the way.
Yeah. Once again, flying by the seat of your pants does not a good episode or film or movie make.
Well, especially when the penultimate episode spends 20 minutes with the character coming out as gay.
It was vital time we had to take, Rhett. How many times do I have to explain this?
If you watch the documentary about making season 5 and you watch one of their laptops, there's a lot of ChatGPT open. So there's speculation he used it to write season 5.
Oh, that would rule. I'm not going to lie, that would be very funny.
I also heard the speculation that if ChatGPT helped him write season 5, it would have been written better. But,
That's understandable.
Whatever. Let's fall into censorship, shall we? Poorly formatted image, though this may be. I'm just going to leave it the way it is so I don't have to format the next one. Anyway, a major expansion of UK's Online Safety Act has taken effect, legally obliging digital platforms to deploy surveillance-style systems that scan, detect, and block user content before it can be seen.
Oh my gosh. UK, pull your heads out.
Jesus.
You are at fault for pre-crime.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. What a disaster. Like, the UK has just been on a roll lately with just really bad legislation and bad moves. Good lord.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the what was it? The digital ID, the basically the new dystopian cyberpunk universe they were creating, and there was so much backlash. They're like, well, we're not going to do it then. And it's like, don't they already have like essentially their equivalent of a social security number? Why do they need a digital ID? But, whatever. Moving on. AI is fueling a crisis in PC gaming. Despite the shortage of GPUs, we are now getting a shortage of RAM. And it's so bad that large PC shops in Japan are actually asking to buy people's old PC hardware.
Wow.
Because things are getting so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Shelves are being emptied, and they're trying to buy people's old stuff. In fact, DDR5 is getting so expensive and difficult to get. Some companies are moving back to DDR3.
Wow.
Jesus.
But I still have DDR3 because I don't have money to upgrade, and it works just fine.
It's okay.
We have gotten a leak of the Steam Machine's price, and it is $1,000.
Oh, hey, didn't we kind of think that might be the case?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
The speculation it was probably going to cost about $1,000, but they thought they might sell it for cheaper in order to be competitive with consoles, and then they'll just make their money back on game sales. But no, they're not going to compete with consoles at all.
Oh.
This is more than like the PS5 Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Damn it.
There's an interview Mark Hamill did with a bunch of people, and he has some interesting things to say. Mostly just threw shade at Star Wars. Somebody asked him if there was any in the interview. Somebody asked him in the roundtable, and he was with like Dwayne Johnson and a bunch of other people. And they're like, is anybody you would like to work with that you haven't had a chance to? And he said Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher.
Oh my god!
And
one of those can't happen now, pal. But
and he went because he did work with them before, but he went on a tirade of they had all of them together and they didn't have the opportunity to put them all in the same place in a film. and how bad an idea it was. And he kind of went off on this rant. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't agree with Mark Hamill on a lot of things, especially politics, but he knows Luke Skywalker, and what a failure to not put all those characters in the same room, at least for 5 seconds.
Mhm.
You had all of them available for your sequel trilogy, and you did nothing. They were just token characters to be like, hey, look, it's that famous person. Anyway, Rey goes on to save the world and have no threat to her character.
Isn't that great, everybody? Huh?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
Apparently, Xbox sales are doing so poorly
Ugh.
that I think these are UK numbers, but sales bomb in 2025 with a 70% year-over-year drop.
Oh my god. Oh. That makes me so sad, but I mean, good lord.
Well, to be
Now-
fair, PlayStation 5 console sales are down 40%, so it might also have something to do with availability and economy. Maybe people are buying less consoles, but Xbox took it the hardest.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Now, if I recall, and I didn't see it quite in that article, but if I recall, these numbers were taken from the UK, so it might be different in America, but they're just a little bit different. And some fun news for Silver, because Silver can't pay attention unless action is happening on screen.
Come on,
Um,
Genevieve.
There was this guy that worked at Disney, and they have this live show where they do an Indiana Jones thing. And during the
Oh, the
live
boulder
show,
thing.
a boulder comes down and Indiana Jones runs away from it, right? Well, the boulder came down and off its rail,
Oh,
and one of the cast went over to stop it from hitting the crowd and jumped in its way and got hit. Now you might go, oh, that's nuts. Well, the ball, despite bouncing, weighs about 400 pounds. It's huge.
Yeah. It could have killed the dude. Easy.
And he took it in the face
oh
like a
gosh.
hero would.
Hero.
Like a hero.
Kinda, yeah.
Really quickly, so we don't run super long. What do we have here, Jason?
So these are our Steam figures here. Basically, the top selling games on Steam. Pull it up real quick. We have Battlefield 6 as the top in top games by players worldwide 2025, but we have Skate, Repo, Peak, Schedule 1, Split Fiction, Claire Obscure, Frag Punk, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Rematch. I'm not entirely sure on that one, but a lot of the games that were top last year by players were all indie games as opposed to AAA studio.
Say, yeah, Repo and
Yeah.
Peak are the blatant ones.
I mean, this might be economic too. Things are getting more expensive and people are buying cheaper games.
Mhm.
And also, indie games might just be better.
Yeah.
Shifting on really quickly. Bring it up.
Oh, Games Workshop is going to be bringing a Warhammer World to the US. They're going to launch it late 2027, and all they've said is near Washington, D.C. They haven't said exactly where it's going to be. They also have said that it won't be an exact copy of the previously built one that was Warhammer World Nottingham. They're going to same high standards, but they're going to build it
High
to be more
standards.
American, I guess. I don't know.
By the way, Games Workshop sucks balls. Anyway.
Yeah.
Just so everybody remembers, don't do that.
And you might go, oh, well, you just don't like them because you're not a true fan. I've been a fan of Games Workshop since like Army. What was it? Army rule set for Fantasy. Army rule set 2 or 3.
Damn.
I have
Yeah.
two
Wow.
40K armies and one fantasy. Games Workshop sucks.
They're the worst.
I've read a lot of their
Yeah.
novels. Games Workshop sucks. Anyway.
Yeah, they're not good people.
Okay, so this one apparently they're rebooting or coming out with some I don't know, spin-offs if that's the right way to say it. But we have a Little House on the Prairie. The
I hope
Burbs.
there's a black guy in it because of racism. I did hear about the Burbs. She's supposed to be the Tom Hanks character.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh.
They're going to be redoing Bewitched again.
Yeah, they can't come up with
they're
anything
making-
original.
An L, which is a spin-off from the Legally Blonde movie. For some reason, they're relaunching Prison Break.
Oh, good lord.
Didn't that run
and
too long and
Baywatch.
have? I thought I even had
Yeah.
spin-offs or whatever. Just
Yeah, they broke out of prison, and then they're like, they had to go back into prison.
no, they broke out of prison and the season ran for many seasons more,
Yeah,
just for no reason anyway.
they're going to be relaunching Baywatch.
Again?
They're
Did
gonna
they
be
do that already?
Yeah, well, they did the movies and they sucked.
Oh. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting a different
No
world.
Hasselhoff, no Baywatch, by the way.
True.
So this was a spin-off from the Cosby Show, and apparently what they're doing is they're cutting out the Cosbys. So like none of the actors from the Cosby Show are going to be on here, but the two of the characters that like got married at the end of the show or whatever, their daughter is now going back to that college, and so it's more of a spin-off than anything else. For some reason they can't leave Scrubs alone.
They've been rebooting this for a while.
Yeah. Malcolm in the Middle is going to get a spin-off. Apparently he's older now and life's still unfair.
Yeah.
And then the last one, we're going to get a new Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
This has also been rumored for quite some time. It seems a lot of the original cast have nothing to do. The problem is Buffy the Vampire Slayer is quintessentially a Joss Whedon thing, and there's a lot of lack of confidence that they can write this worth a darn without Whedon attached.
Yeah. But I can't tell you how much it disturbs me that they're planning to do a new Little House on the Prairie. I hated that show when it was on television the first time. I could not stand that, and I don't want to see it again. I do not want it to come back. And then the fact that they're taking The Burbs, an amazing show with Tom Hanks, and they're turning it into a TV show. We don't need that.
Oh, but you do. You do.
I don't think. Look, I'm not angry that the Burbs or the Bewitched or whatever they're doing, because I know they're going to fail because they look bad. I'm not angry about that.
Yeah.
All this tells me is they lack the ability to make anything unique or original. They're just trying to reboot brands because people go, if people see something on TV and they go, that doesn't look good. Or they see something, they go, oh, I like the Burbs, I'll try it. And that's reason why they use the brands. This just tells me they lack any ability to make anything original. I don't care if they make it because it's going to suck. And I'm not going to watch it. So whatever, let it fail. Anyway, we need to move on. Final thing, as we look towards the future with the future of Marvel movies, Doomsday is coming down the road. And they released a bunch of Doomsday trailers, which we haven't talked about because we haven't been here for 2 weeks. I alluded to the first one, and we knew a bunch were coming down the road. So, let us... I don't know why you were not showing up. Let me... There we go. And... No copyright. All right. Let's briefly look over these very short videos. Here we have Steve driving a motorcycle. So dramatic. He gets off the motorcycle. He goes into the house. Oh, look, it's the suit. Oh, it's Captain America. It's in the chest. He's got a baby. They had a baby. Steve Rogers will return in Avengers Doomsday.
Wow.
Does that trailer hype you?
Nope.
No.
There's nothing there.
But-
There's not a lot there.
Yeah. Kind of just sort of a wow.
How about
The
this
thing
next
probably
one?
Most people would have guessed.
We got Forrest, and this is happening in this forest. And then there's this little kid, because you remember he adopted a child and has a daughter now.
Oh,
From Ragnarok, the movie everyone hated.
Oh gosh,
everyone's super loved.
I forgot.
And here is Thor praying to his father. Thor's going to return in Doomsday.
Wait, with everyone.
Wait, there's more.
No,
Okay.
you could be like, Akko will return in Doomsday.
Okay, we have a mansion and there's some breaking, some stuff. And then the camera pans and this mansion doesn't look super good. Oh, look, Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters.
Oh my gosh. Deadpool will return in Doomsday.
Oh, look, it's a wheelchair. Somebody's moving stuff. Maybe it's metal. It looks like Magneto and Professor X are like, we're still friends, right? Despite all the murder and stuff.
You know.
Oh, a comic accurate costume for Cyclops, everybody. For the first time in comic book history, they've finally taken seriously the actual comic book accurate costumes. And these are Sentinels as he's blasting. Everybody seems to think that even though Cyclops is in the movie doing cool stuff, he's probably going to be in it for 5 minutes before they kill him.
Probably, yeah.
He's getting real angry. The X-Men will return in Avengers Doomsday. These are what played before Avatar, by the way.
Yep.
So if you wanted to see all of these movies, all these trailers. Oh, okay. So we've got Desert.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's Black Panther, everybody. Girl Black Panther.
Oh.
Oh, we got weird, cool masks. Oh, look, it's Namor.
No.
Namor.
The boy without love. Because remember, everybody loved this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, and we wanted the Atlanteans back or whatever, because they were cool.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, look, it's the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Everyone's favorite hit movie of last summer.
The Wakandans in Fantastic Four will return in Avengers Doomsday.
What a combination.
we have too many characters to say they're going to return, so we're just going to start cramming them together. And our final trailer, I'm going to do... we have a trailer for a character called Wonder Man. Wonder Man in the original comics is white.
Oh.
And this time he is not
Yeah.
white. Now, if you see this actor, you might go, oh, I recognize him from somewhere. Because he was Black Mantis in Aquaman. And also, he was Dr. Manhattan in the series for The Watchmen.
Oh.
Okay. Not from the show, not from the movie, from the show.
No, because from the movie, he was white.
Yep.
Regardless, if you watch this trailer, it's really goofy and quirky. Instead of Wonder Man being a hero, the premise is they are making a movie based off of a character called Wonder Man. And he wants to play the role of Wonder Man. But they want a normal person to play this. You're not allowed to have superpowers if you want to be the actor playing Wonder Man.
Ugh.
So he pretends not to have
Okay.
superpowers, even though he secretly has superpowers. Look forward to Wonder Man in the future.
Great.
So reactions? How are we thinking everything's going to go?
All of that stuff looks terrible. All of it, even the Wonder Man stuff looks.
Jason's just
horrible.
pessimistic.
Yeah.
I this is gonna be a shock to everyone. I don't care. I hope it's bad
Bringing
purely
Robert
so
Downey-
I can go watch it with everybody. Be like, it's terrible. You know, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom was such a stupid decision. It just shows how, instead of showing us that they're actually listening to fan feedback and they're trying to win us back, this is we're throwing you a bone. You liked Robert Downey Jr. See, he's in the movie. Like, that doesn't mean it'll be any good. That just means that you got Robert Downey Jr. back. You just paid him enough money to have him appear in your film.
This is supposed to be the big giant movie to save Marvel.
It's
I
not
bet
going
it
to.
will.
A
Not.
desperation ploy that I've ever seen.
Yep.
Huge.
Well, it's been a special podcast. We had a lot to talk about, a lot to make up for in the past 2 weeks, but there's probably some news that might have been worth talking about, but we didn't get to. But we are back for season 2. Silver reflections on today. What do you think? Are we going to get good stuff? You looking forward to the future of Star Wars or Star Trek or Marvel?
Oh yeah.
Anything
I'm
you're
gonna
looking
love
forward
Star
to?
Wars. I'm gonna love Star Wars and Star Trek even more now. I'm sure of it. And now that Ding Dong the Witch is dead,
I'm into Trek Wars,
Yeah.
honestly.
Trek Wars.
Yeah.
What a great idea. We should just combine it. There we go.
Just Ray kills everybody in the Star Trek universe as they try and talk to him about their feelings.
It's the new Star
Yeah.
Trek series. Ray kills the Star Trek universe.
Crashes the Enterprise.
Gonna be great. I don't know why she'd do that. I mean, unless there's some sort of inherent problem.
I mean,
Well,
same
she
way.
uses her force powers to crash it into like a planet or something because she needs to destroy it.
Yeah, I just think she can't drive.
Oh, that's some internalized misogyny there.
Hey,
The secret canon joke as to what happened to the spaceship in season 1 is that I had to go use the news dump toilet and Silver was flying the ship and crashed us into the city.
yeah. You told me just to, stay on course, but
Fly casual.
butterfly
Good job,
steer to
Silver.
the right.
You did it,
Women
slugger.
drivers, am I right?
Am I right, everyone? Huh?
Just
Ross,
here, 2 of you, 5.
final thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, we can all hope for the best for Star Wars, but come on, be real. Be real for just a moment. It ain't gonna happen. Be happy if it does. Don't expect it.
Let's be
Don't
real,
set
you
yourself up
guys.
for disappointment.
Come on, you guys.
Come on, you guys. Whoa, guys. Come on.
Jason.
It's hard to find anything to be hopeful for in this year. I just looked at what we have to expect in the coming year, and all of it has so many red flags that can't see for the red flags. So it will be a pleasant surprise if any of these things don't flop. But like Ross said, don't expect it. We're in for a rough year. I'm hoping some of the indie companies can bring us something enjoyable, but I don't expect anything from mainstream Hollywood or like mainstream game development.
I'm just so exhausted by all the garbage.
Uh-huh.
It just wears me out. Ugh. You know what I'm doing? I'm playing old stuff. Also, probably look forward to me and Ross are going to sit down and review the Far Cry franchise at some point in the future.
Yeah, we're kind of plugging through them. We were both playing them so much lately that, like,
why don't we just talk about it?
Yeah, why not?
Lots of stuff coming down the pipe. Get hyped for all of it. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Steal from your neighbors.
Oh,
Tell Mr. Beast he makes bad chocolate.
we'll definitely do that.
Ah, take that.
That's
He has a
one
vendetta against Mr. Beast.
taking him down a notch.
How about that, pal?
Does it feel, Seath? Wait, we have a thing for that.
Yeah, we do.
Hold on.
How's it feel, see?
There we go.
It's about the DC podcast. Goodbye.
If you like the show, follow Rhett, Jason, Ross, and Silver, the world's most lethally stupid internet personalities, on Twitter at DG Podcast or on Instagram at Distracted Gamers. If you liked or hated what you heard here today, you can email them at thedistractedgamers@gmail.com and share your feelings. Not that Jason would care, since he hasn't any, of course.